4.3, we're just looking at similar right triangles, and we're going back to what we've done before and writing proportions. So here we have a right triangle. If you draw an altitude through the right angle down to the hypotenuse, this line is called the altitude. And what it does is it creates two right angles and therefore two more right triangles. You can see them all drawn here. Because these all have the same angles, they all have a right angle and then they share these other angles, we create three similar triangles all in one. So that means that we can write proportions and solve the sides. So here's an example. We have a roof and the altitude's drawn with the height. When you're solving these, it really helps to draw the three right triangles and then set up your proportions. Okay, so there's always the big right triangle, our starting one right here. Y is the right angle. And the hypotenuse goes all the way across right here, 6.3. I always start with the hypotenuse. It's the easiest side to find. That's always the one I label first, 6.3. And then whenever we have a right triangle, remember there's a short leg and a long leg. So the short leg is 3.1 and the long leg is 5.5. And then we have a medium triangle and a small triangle. So here's the medium one. Here's the right angle. It's W. And I always start with the hypotenuse. It's 5.5. And this time our short leg is H and our long leg is we don't know. I'm just going to leave it blank. It's part of 6.3, but we don't know the value. So I'm going to leave it. Okay, now we go to our baby triangle over here. Right angle's W, the hypotenuse is 3.1. And this time the long leg is H and we don't know the short leg. So I'm going to leave it blank. Okay, the big main idea that I want you to remember, once you have it set up, you pick two triangles to solve. Okay, one of these we're not going to use. So because we have all three sides here, we're going to have to use this triangle, and the other two, it doesn't matter because we have sides that align. So I'm just going to knock this one out. And now we'll set up our proportions. So 3.1 goes with H. 3.1 to H. Same order. And then we have to use the hypotenuse because that's the side we know on the second triangle. So same order, 6.3 to 5.5. You set them equal to each other. You've just set up your equation, your proportion. Now you solve. So we cross multiply. 6.3 times H equals 3.1 times 5.5. So let's multiply those together, 3.1 times 5.5, and we get 1705. Now to solve for H, we're going to divide that by 6.3, which is, oh man, I wanted to highlight, divide. There we go. 6.3, which is 2.71. Doesn't say to round. When it doesn't say to round, we would leave it. So 341 over 126. Okay, that is the height of that in meters. So draw your triangles, pick two triangles, set up your proportion, and solve. That's how you do these.